I just got back from Arkansas, had a wonderful time. When I was there, I got to go with my sister and with Bruce and with Kimberly to a museum that I'd been to before. And it's called the Crystal Bridges Museum up in Bentonville, Arkansas. And it's one of my favorite museums. I love this place. And so that was really fun. If you ever get the chance to go to that museum, go, because there's so much contemporary art there and it's amazing. And so anyway, previously when I was there, I had seen the work of Do Ho Suh. Remember we talked about him, where he created that incredible sculpture called Someone, and it's very existential. Well, the sculpture wasn't there this time because Alice Walton says she has a lot of art and she moves it around the country, and so it gets sent out and then it comes back and it moves around. But anyway, and another painting I absolutely love that she has that wasn't there either, it's out somewhere on loan, is a painting called Our Town. You ought to look it up. It's by a guy named Kerry James Marshall, and it's so powerful. I love that. I love it. And it seems like it might even be, I'm not sure if it's on textile or canvas. It's been a while, but it wasn't there this time, so I didn't get to look at it again. But there were a number of paintings. There, a John Mitchell painting, Helen Frankenthaler, and just so many paintings. It was amazing. So I recommend that you check that out if you ever get the chance. Okay, so let's get started with some questions that have come in, and I appreciate your questions. So Eleanor wrote, I may be too late for today, but I thought I'd give it a try. I'm having a problem completing work that I like or that I can resolve. Currently, I'm having difficulty committing myself to moves and marks. I feel as though I'm working on the same things over and over. I'm getting tired and discouraged, but I can get a bit obsessed with single pieces. I'm wondering what to do next. Do you have any suggestions for this state? Do I force myself to do something very different? I'll be listening to the recording in case you respond to this. Okay, Eleanor, this is a fantastic question because it's something that comes up for artists, just period. In your life cycle as an artist, there will be these times when you will feel stuck and you'll feel like you don't know what to do next, or that you're getting hung up on one painting and all of that. And I think that, getting obsessed, you said, on a single piece, I'm working on the same things over and over, I'm getting discouraged. Yeah. And so I think what can happen is we get caught up in outcome, in finishing, in creating the masterpiece. And what happens is fear and self-doubt and perfectionism can get activated, in particular perfectionism. And so this is not unusual. I think most of us have been there, if not practically all of us. And so the thing is to remember to kind of activate that mindset of exploration and experimentation, and ultimately accessing the adjacent possible. Okay, so we want to get into that mindset of what if I try this, what if I try that. We want to not worry about the finish. You've heard me say, I know Elizabeth heard me say this, more starts, fewer finishes. Don't be so hung up on finishing this thing, but rather exploring and seeing where it wants to go and unfold. And one of the things you can do when you start getting hung up on one painting is remember the concept of working in a series, and step back and maybe go in and play around with the 6-MAC hat exercise, play around with some flux and automatism, but basically, most importantly, play around, and it might be in your art journal or it might be up on your board. Play around with working in a series so that you don't get hung up on one painting, and let some of those paintings be very raw in that series. And then take some of them a little bit further, and then take some of them even further, and then see how you feel about that. So you're not hung up either on getting to a finish either. Okay, so you're really getting that the way you're holding this is as experimentation. Okay, so that's really important. And we have to remind ourselves of that, to come back around to that again and again, because we do get caught sometimes in some paintings. So that's what I think. I know Elizabeth can give you great support and advice there too, because Elizabeth is just on fire with experimentation and knows the power of that. And it's kind of like the words you say to yourself too. Like if you could say to yourself, this is an exploratory work, this is an experimental piece, then you don't get too hung up on, ooh, I've got to finish this, or ooh, I'm getting trapped in it. I'm getting caught in trying to pull this thing off. And I think that, the magic doesn't happen when you're trying too hard. It's when we're trying too hard, it just sucks the joy out. And then the painting starts to look like you're thinking too much, basically. So anyway, that's a thought. I mean, yes, we do think. I mean, there's the spontaneous and the considered, but we don't want to get too hung up in our heads so much. And then the painting starts to look like that, like we're in our heads, completely. So anyway, those are my thoughts, just right off the cuff. Hope that's helpful. And just get in there and experiment, explore, do a lot of starts, play with the 6 mat cat exercise because that can also loosen some things up too, where you're not hung up. 6 mat cats, this is not about a finished piece. This is about experimentation. So that sometimes can help people break through when they're getting hung up on one big painting or one small painting. So anyway, hope that's helpful.